Yeah. Good morning, one and all. Good morning.
Hello, hello, everyone.
How are you?
Oh, Sunday.
I hear you. It's a little rough morning, huh?
Just catching the wave of the day.
I am so tired. I stayed up entirely too late last night. Learn from my mistakes. Oh, hey, Mitch.
It's Mitch.
Mitch was quick. He's pulling that trigger. So I was thinking today, since I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on a lot of it,
Sure.
unless you feel otherwise.
No, I think at this point, getting too much deeper into that end of things is just going to box us in.
My thought would be to maybe start figuring out some playbooks.
Okay. Yeah, works for me.
I'm grabbing some stuff now. I wasn't sure you were making it, so I was like
Oh, yes.
grabbing it, cut off some stuff open in between playing some E-Rising. Shaggy, how goes it? I gotta find some different music here. Bear with me for a second.
I'm sure
Beautiful people.
the viewers will be gracious and accepting.
All right. Let's see if there's any more gimmicks we want to grab. I wonder if this is the problem with when you do like a bunch of Kickstarters and stuff is sometimes you get like so many things that you can't get through all of it. Okay,
Yes.
I wish I could find my the gimmicks I did too, but I don't see them anywhere. Oh, maybe they're in this Full House Wrestling thing. Let's find out. No, this was these are the results.
Oh.
Oh my god. That's pretty funny. Also the roster. I'm frustrated I can't find my stuff. Where's my stuff? When's it gonna be my turn, Matt? So what we've got here are the playbooks. The tyranny of choice. Oh yeah, allergies are brutal right now. I don't know if Chicago's getting slammed with storms or not, but they kept telling us like Sunday was going to be this brutal Sunday evening, and then it was like Saturday evening, and it wasn't that bad. It was just humid, and then this morning we've gotten some stuff.
Yeah, we'll see how the day plays out. Some friends of ours were gonna do a canoe excursion. It's like, oh, all right.
Are you a avid canoeer?
No, I don't own a canoe. I don't rent a canoe.
Let alone one canoe.
Yeah, I mean, I've never done it. Maybe they're doing kayak. I can't remember. Anyway.
So I think the first thing we need to kind of think of is how we want to define these archetypes, because that's what these are.
Yeah.
So when you look at like Worldwide Wrestling, there's the anti-hero. This was the first season. The Golden Boy, the Jobber, the Hardcore, High Flyer, Manager, Monster, Technician, Veteran, the Weird, or the Wasted, excuse me, the Athlete, the Clown, the Gatekeeper, and the Giant. I think were all of them. Oh, the Provocateur.
Okay.
So, as you can see, they're all like the Ace, the Young One, the Luchador, Cultural Champion, Indie Darling, Shoot Fighter. Those were all the season 2, and then there was a second one, the Foreigner, the Boss. So those were kind of that's all the ones that I did not do, which I'm really frustrated I can't find my stuff, because I did like art and everything, which I didn't make art, just cut and paste stuff in.
Sure.
But then we have Apocalypse World. So that's the thing, Mitch. We got to think about how we can mesh those with these post-apocalyptic playbooks from Apocalypse World, which is the Angel. Let me make these bigger. I don't know. Battle Babe, Brainer, Chopper, Driver, Gunlugger. So this is the thing too about Apocalypse World and Apocalypse World style games, is like you have to kind of look at it like there might be other gunluggers in the world, other folks who are great with a gun, but you're the gunlugger.
Oh, okay.
So you're like that archetype. So every other person you're running into, isn't quite as good as you are at your job.
Interesting.
So what are we thinking? Like, how can we kind of take and mush these together?
I'm almost feeling like, are there certain skills that some of those archetypes get, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so that's what we'll really have to mess with.
Yeah, I'm feeling like we almost throw those archetypes out to a degree, because I don't know that there's overlap, but I don't want to, like, you could have, a jobber who could be any of those things.
So here's the thing you're looking for is, like, much like in Star Wars, when we use Apocalypse World style Star Wars, you have moves. And these are like the Angel's moves. And then if you go to the Provocateur, there's their moves. I think I want to keep the finishing move concept, because I think it's just cool.
Yeah.
Although we'd have to work it, because in Worldwide Wrestling, it's like when you do a finishing move, there's like, it's all about winning the match or letting the other person win the match.
Yeah.
So that we would kind of have to take out of that, because you're trying to get heat with them, which building rivalries.
Yeah.
I kind of also want to keep heat as a concept.
Yeah, you might just need to bash in like some other stuff for those, but I almost think just using the Worldwide Wrestling stuff. I mean, I have to look at it closer and see what's in there, but to just see what people do with those skills in a world where they actually do, where it means something. Because even just that, like play to the crowd, it's like, all right, if you're gonna get out there and inspire a bunch of freaking, Mohawk dudes on dirt bikes to do something, or whatever,
So I think like looking that you play to the crowd. Oh man, can I cut? I can't even cut and paste. Oh, why?
You gotta get different software, bud.
Why, Lord? Why?
Oh, there you go. You probably can do it from
there. Can we? Nope, we can't make this bigger.
If you control mouse wheel, maybe it'll zoom in.
Oh, Matthew, you're a genius.
Did that work? Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It gave me what it could, which I'll take. We were looking at. I probably should have just checked this before. Nope, still can't. Okay, so let's Whoa, what is going on here?
So I don't know your browser. You're here. I can't see it well enough. Let me blow this up.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah, if you just reset that or whatever.
Oh, now you're huge, boys. Now you're big and strong.
Edit. Maybe if you click edit, it'll let you.
That's what I just did a little bit ago.
And popped it into the other window thing.
Yeah, I popped it into this, and it didn't allow us to do anything. It was lame. All right, so I think maybe we start off with before playbooks. We moves. We look at moves and how we want them to function. So let's use. Oh yeah, play to the crowd. Is that what we were just looking at?
Yeah, that's one of the ones we were looking at.
It's all at the bottom.
There it is. You went right to it.
So I'm going to pull it over here so I can see it and you can't. But that way I can do a little typing. So it's when you use your gimmick to highlight, address, or confront a issue or a real issue with people that people have in their lives. I love that wording.
Yeah.
Let's keep that.
And I will. I'm going to send you
Can we change it to a little more like post-apocalyptic language, do you think?
I mean,
so like when you confront issues of the people, we're just going to capitalize people. Roll. So here's another thing we'll have to look at are how we want to name stats. I think we stick with real maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
And then it's Apocalypse World, so it's on a 10 plus is our first thing. You drive the masses into a fervor. So here's the thing: is in in Worldwide Wrestling, there's this thing called audience. Mitch, Heat is like so. All the Apocalypse World games are so different in their DNA from D&D. They're just a different beast. So something like Heat is something you're trying to build with another player. It like symbolizes your ability to work together. And the higher Heat, you get all these bonuses you have with someone. It's really a cool concept.
And that's like the history stuff in the Star Wars game. Okay.
Which is the same. All these Apocalypse World games all have history.
Okay.
Which is super cool.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy that aspect of the Star Wars game that we've played a little bit of for sure. So yeah, it's basically when you start playing the game, you all kind of say like, all right, who here knows each other, who doesn't, who has beef, who doesn't, and then that gives you like to assist, them or interact with them. It gives you pluses or minuses, and then at the end of the session, you also say, all right, well, you really pissed that guy off or really did him a solid, so now your relationships with them change. Which is a great. That's just a solid.
I think we want to keep heat as our instead of history.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because we've got there's the pre-apocalypse heat, and then whatever people have done to each other since.
Well, the other thing is heat doesn't necessarily in this game need to be bad.
Right.
It can just be like we have a relationship. And whenever we work in a situation together, we get, if we have +4 heat, we get +1 audience. And then when you finish a feud, it goes back down to 1. So like, I think we have to figure out what audience is in our game.
Yeah.
Would it be like,
you wouldn't want to limit it to something like a charisma equivalent.
No, it needs to be a bigger conceptual thing, because audience is something you can spend.
Okay.
It's like the currency.
Right.
Like I'm trying to think of like a concept in wrestling that would be like karma. There is an ability, Shaggy, called cheap heat, and there's one called go away heat.
There's reputation. If you wanted to, but that still seems too narrow.
Well, you could spin rep though. How about just call it rep?
Yeah, or work rate.
There's actually a skill called work rate.
Okay, I figured there would be.
By wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Kind of thing. So getting back to how we were wording
us.
Hey, Super Spike. So let's see here. Drive the masses into a fervor. I think that's a period. So, on a 10+. Oh wait, I already did that. Real tired.
Super Spike, we're you don't need to know as much wrestling here probably because we're more into game mechanic stuff today. So if you know RPGs or just games, you'll probably be able to help us out, which we appreciate. Oh no.
And if nothing else, just helping out with just ideas and flavor and kind of wording. Also, if it makes sense.
Yes.
On a 7 through 9, choose whether it's a hit backstage or whether it calls out someone to take you to task over it. So this is like where Worldwide Wrestling has that interesting, like, it breaks its own kayfabe at times.
Yeah.
So it's a 7 through 9 would be a success with consequence. So what is the consequence of playing to the crowd?
So it doesn't quite, you get what you want, but there's a drawback.
Yeah. So in Worldwide Wrestling, it would be it's either a big hit backstage and you take 1 momentum, which is kind of the currency, and then or someone kind of gets on your ass about it, and then you get to pick an opponent for creative to book you in a match with.
Okay. Yeah, I think for something like this, if you're basically if you're like trying to inspire the people or influence people, it works. It would work, but in a way you didn't intend, where like yeah, we all gotta band together and stop this guy. And they're like, all right, let's go frickin' kill him. And they're like, whoa, 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 no. Some sort of unintended consequence. You know, you get what you want, but not the way you wanted it.
But we know on the botch, you lose one rep. And I think what we want here is momentum and not audience. Audience is an actual score. I'm trying to remember how.
How that? Yeah.
Okay, so audience is you use momentum to pay for audience.
Okay.
So audience is like your ability to.
So is audience just skill points?
Momentum is like, so it's like it works in a 2-tier format.
Okay.
Momentum you can like spend all the time. You're gaining and spending momentum. But
Right.
if you have audience, you start out with some momentum in your pool to spend.
Okay. So I'd say, so
this is like PowerPoint.
I'd say you could almost keep momentum as momentum then.
Yeah, I like that. Audience is rep equals
audience because you're building momentum by, the better you do, the better you can do, sort of deal, and then you can spin that into, everybody knows that this guy knows what the fuck he's doing.
Okay. So we need to figure out a success with consequence on a 7 through 9. So we've got like the botch is like you lose rep and like the crowd goes into a frenzy and riots. So we need to figure out a good like in between. Super Spike there is for I think for the wasted class in World Wide Wrestling. It's basically you have substance abuse problems. So what would be worse? 7 through 9, I would say like indifference.
Yeah, or I guess it's you're trying to. I mean, it depends on how you're trying to use the move. So yeah, you would get some of what you're trying to inspire, but not all. Like it's a it was a decent promo, but I don't want to see the rest of it. I don't know how that spins.
I would just say nothing. It's just kind of nothing.
It's just a null.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the wording, but that's all right.
Yeah,
so that's like a move, and I think
put some guts down anyway.
So everyone would have a finishing move.
Okay.
This is just a regular move. So generally, what happens is you have your play sets. They sit on their hands like a much like a Japanese crowd or like a Dearborn, Michigan crowd. Everybody has a finishing move, but you also then pick 2 of these regular moves in your playbook.
You're right. Okay.
So let's find a more physical one we can use.
Yeah.
Like the giant gets two moves they have to take, and then they get 1 to pick out of the other 3. So like one of their other moves besides finishing move is nowhere else to go. Like you don't have other career options.
Okay.
So you can change your role from heel to babyface whenever creative says. because you don't have anything else you can do. Which is funny in the concept of Worldwide Wrestling because heels and babyface gain stuff different ways.
Oh, okay.
But like when you in the pick area, it says give them what they want, gain +1 momentum whenever you hit a plus power roll with a 7+ without spending momentum, because you can spend momentum to like raise your roll to the next tier.
Oh, okay.
So if I rolled like a 9, or an 8, I could spend 1 momentum to get it to the 10 to 12.
10.
That's why you're like trying to constantly get a pool of momentum. Exactly, Shaggy. That's why this game is so good, because it really understands the tropes. And it just is like, oh, I'm playing a trope, which is pretty great. One of the biggest athletes in the world is another one. The first time you make a move on camera in an episode and hit a 10+, gain +1 audience, as you are the big draw. Dominant personality. When you make a demand in no uncertain terms, you roll plus real. On a 10+, you get it. On a 9 through 7, you get it on one condition. You choose one. You have to humiliate yourself first. You have to betray someone you care about. You have to put someone over that you hate. On a bot, you don't get it, and you get booked in a punitive match with someone you hate as punishment.
Yeah, I think it's really just going to be. I like adapting these moves and mechanics to a more like real stakes situation. It is just going to be going through and tweaking the very wrestling specific, match specific stuff, I think.
So if we look at like the Angel from Apocalypse World, you choose 2. Sixth Sense. When you open your brain to the world psychic maelstrom, you roll plus sharp instead of plus weird. So that's the other thing, is we'll have to figure out what we're calling our stats, because in Apocalypse World, it's cool, hard, hot, sharp, and weird.
Okay.
Which they're pretty much equivalents. In Worldwide Wrestling, it's look, power, real, and work. Look is cut a promo, power is a feat of strength or wrestling, real is break kayfabe or work real stiff, and then work is just your wrestling.
Okay.
So let's I know we're jumping around a little bit while we're doing this, but I think it also helps keep our brains. What are we going to call our stats? And do we want to have the full, what is it, 5 in Apocalypse World? It's 5 in Apocalypse World and 4 in Worldwide Wrestling. I think we should probably go with 5 and have one of them be very Apocalypse
specific. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad jumping off at all.
So I think we can still keep look. Look is like charisma.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got look. I believe look might be the same in Apocalypse World. Cool is
okay.
No, I take that back. Hot is the Apocalypse World.
Okay.
Power is just your basic strength, which is hard in Apocalypse World, which is in Star Wars, to use that, it's like that ability to aggro and to use force. Do we just want to keep power, or is there a better wrestling term? We could just call it stiff.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
All right. So there's 2. Next in Worldwide Wrestling is real. which is like breaking kayfabe and things like that. I think of that as cool, or in Star Wars Under Fire, where like your ability to do something under high stress, to deal with, just insanity going on. Power and glory.
If you wanted to go real wrestly with it, you could call that ring awareness, but you might want to go more generic since this isn't going to be specifically ring based.
Yeah. Any suggestions from the peanut gallery?
Yes.
From our co-creators out there.
Gallery of peanuts.
We're all delicious peanut boys today. Oh, what is going on with that?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
So I look at like this is like your, like in D&D terms, probably wisdom score, since that's the one where you're using to save, because it's the one that everyone doesn't put shit into. It's like it's the thing where you're really screwed if you don't make it. Do we have a wrestling like phrase or something someone uses? Like, Bullet Club is the real. I'm trying to think if there's anything like that we can draw upon, or like a good 80s action movie.
Oh yeah,
Dumpstat int, yes, I do as well. Or if I'm playing some type of bruisery boy, Dumpstat is charisma, because I figure if I'm big, strong, and tough, then I must have a face that looks like a dartboard, flat and full of holes. Do we want to come back to that one?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what would.
Well, I'm just going to put real here as the placeholder, and we'll come back to it. So work is the wrestling is the next one, and that's like your ability to work, to do wrestling. I don't think there is a good equivalent. I guess hard, kind of, but we already put that in stiff. So I almost think with work, that's tough. We could change work here.
Okay.
And then make real stiff.
Okay.
And stiff is I would use this as like I actually would put stiff down stiff.
Yeah.
Then I would put work as under fire.
Yeah, that's your ability to adapt on the fly.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because if you're in wrestling, if your opponent doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, you've got to be able to tweak that shit and work to their skills.
Exactly.
So in the apocalypse.
So we've got look, we've got work, real. I think we decided like we were smushing power and stiff together.
Yeah, power is stiff and work is real.
No, work is
cool.
I think we're good here. So we need I think we go with sharp is in every Apocalypse World game. And sharp's your ability to read a situation.
Okay.
I want to keep it the single words rather than go to phrases. PDs be a stat. It could be. We could use it as like a power.
Yeah.
For yeah. Let's look at that. Let's move over there for a second. I love that. So let's look, because I think there might be a drug related one in both games. Aware, that might be a good way to put it. It's just aware.
Yeah.
Or generalship, because they call people a ring general.
General, yeah.
Acumen.
Well, I'm trying to think of something more wrestly, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if there's something in wasted for PEDs. So the wasted has a thing called addict. Whenever you take something, you gain +2 momentum. Whenever you're on something, roll plus real for all your non-gimmick moves. So you don't get it for any of your moves, but you get it for everything else, which is pretty great. I think we just kind of want to steal that for PEDs, except for rather than plus real, I think we would get it plus stiff. Because it means for everything you're rolling stiff because you're a crazy person. And because it's a post-apocalyptic weird-ass world, maybe you snort demon blood in the back of a shitty A-Team van. We said momentum was now called just momentum.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to call moves gimmicks.
I think that works.
Super Spy, good call. So rather than moves, we're just going to call them gimmicks. All right. Getting back up here. So what are we going to call? So the other thing that's in here, as far as stats that most other games use that World Wide Wrestling doesn't, but I figure since we're in the middle of doing a crazy mishmash. Hey, Super Spike, don't worry about it. Nerf gun takes precedence over this. Is weird, and in like Star Wars, it's the Force, but it's like just the weirdness of the world around you and your ability to tap into it.
Okay.
I'm thinking we call that Carney.
Yeah, I'm just looking through terms here.
And I'm glad I have spell check, because otherwise this would look like it was written by a 4-year-old.
So So it's I'm trying to remember what that is. That's just kind of like a how that works in Star Wars, because I don't think I've ever had any.
No, I don't think anybody in any of the games except
there's a little bit there.
One person, Mark has
Yep.
a Jedi in training, basically.
Or do what if you could call it kayfabe.
Oh, kayfabe's better.
Because there you're blurring the line between gimmick and actual like powers. Or you could call it Distrucity. But kayfabe is better because it wasn't come up with by a homophobe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was, but we don't know that for sure. Unlike the other one.
All right, one more. So we've got that. Sharp is the last one we're looking at here. That ability to read a stitch or sitch.
Oh yeah. I was looking for potential stuff on that.
Mitch and Matt thinking alike, getting this kayfabe. Like literally simultaneously. That's amazing.
So it's the Rita Sitch is what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, we're thinking.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, call.
Ooh. Smark.
Could work. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, I always love the term smark rather than smart mark. I feel like it's not quite as dicky. By the way, did everyone see old boy MJF apparently is left?
I've been hearing some stuff about
Vegas?
that.
What a shitbag. It's really sad when someone turns out to be as awful as the person they portray.
I'm not sure it's not a work, but we'll know.
I hope it is.
We'll know tonight.
Because if he did that, it's not that it fucks him, it's that it fucks Wardlow.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do that, don't show up Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Help the guy out who's helped you out and then go, I'm done. Like, I don't mind if he walks. That's on him. I don't have a feeling one way or the other on that. What I think does irritate me is like, okay, well, you're fucking somebody else who lets you whip him with a belt on TV.
Yeah, and just put in so much work.
So, yeah, that's what frustrates me about that. Because, I mean, hey, it goes back to that independent contractor thing. I can't hate on WWE if I don't.
Right.
For doing that shit if I'm not going to hold AEW to the same standard. Although I will say AEW doesn't mass release people. They just let their contracts run out.
Yeah. Yeah, so far, I mean, we'll see, but yeah, they're better about that at this point.
Yeah. All right, so we've got that. So one thing I'm thinking about with the gimmicks, and tell me what your thought is. We just have a pile of gimmicks to choose from, and then just every playbook gets a finishing move.
Yeah.
So you can go in and really customize. So like I would say like 3 moves.
Okay.
Because you have the ability to get moves later,
Oh, okay.
to get
Well, yeah.
additional moves. Each playbook gets 1 finishing move. With it, and then chooses 3 additional gimmicks from the pool.
And Shaggy, I haven't seen that, but I also haven't. I'm not tuned into the online wrestling community like I was even a few months ago anymore. So
I can't deal with Twitter anyway.
I've mostly just seen people using it to hate on Punk or whatever WWE fan saying, "Do you support this? Because you supported Naomi and Sasha." It's like, okay, you just have a thing with Punk.
Which I do not get like
He betrayed Vince.
That's the thing I don't get is like Vince betrays motherfuckers left and right. That's his MO. He's a betrayer.
That's because he's so smart and such a good businessman. But if you're the talent, you got to be grateful for whatever scraps he throws you.
Ugh.
You would be a fool not to work for the greatest wrestling organization in the world. No matter how many times you've been fucked over by them.
So I found another one I think I want. So it's from the Shoot Fighter gimmicks. It's called It's Fake, right? So in this particular case, we would say like take a +1 stiff. But you can't have stats that exceed a +3. So whenever you
And I can't remember. Did you send me these playbooks? Because
they're in the hard times folder in Dropbox. Or I sent you the
Dropbox. Yeah, I've got to dig that up.
I sent you the link.
Yeah, you did. Which I then promptly forgot.
How about we change this? Substitute. Okay, let's. Whenever you. Or change that. Um, I think how I want to word this. Um,
There it is. All right. I will actually bookmark this time.
but what this would do is like, um, if you were building a character around like Stiff, you could then substitute on a kayfabe role. You could make a Stiff role instead. You would still do the same thing. You're just substituting one power for or one move for another.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a punk guy. Super Spike. I just one of the reasons why is because, you know, I watched very seriously at that point, and just seeing how there was a concerted effort to fuck him over was just kind of gross. It's one of the reasons I really, really despised Triple H for quite a while until probably NXT, where it kind of felt like he figured things out. Was like, oh, I can actually work with these indie guys and make money. But I also don't like Shawn Michaels, so I mean, big shocker. I'm a Brett guy. I think that, you know, it's no different than Vince fucking Brett, in my opinion. Because and before we get too deep into that, I just want to say it's not that Brett didn't want to drop the belt. Brett didn't want to drop the belt in Canada to Shawn.
Yeah.
He gave Vince a numerous amount of names of people he would prefer to drop the belt to, and he would have done in Canada. And then when that wasn't a thing, he said, fine, I'll drop the belt, just not in Canada. I'll do it on the next Monday night. You know, I literally just give it to him. But Vince, of course, is a
This is
whiny
Vince.
baby who's never had anybody tell him no. Sorry. Okay, I need to be really careful. I'm doing a lot of stiff stuff. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Mitch. But see, the public can tell Vince no because he understands that they give him millions of dollars and he's afraid. I like to make fun of Vince, but if you've ever listened to the Heel Turn Wrestling podcast, Heel Turn Radio what is it? Heel Turn Radio. Yeah, I can never remember. It's been so long since we've done it. I will probably once every 6 episodes talk about how maybe things will get better when Vince dies. Because it's just, and now I don't think it will because now we have a business person running it.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Yeah, who doesn't give a shit about wrestling? They're just looking at it as an IP.
Yeah, it's a product,
which is even worse.
And when you can't sell a product you don't understand or care about, I mean, you can, but you're not going to do as good a job.
Who knows? I mean, more wrestling product from Comcast, brought to you by Burger King. Other moves, other things too you're thinking about, Matt. Oh, we could do history really quick since we're fiddling around and I think trying to wrap our head around different things. Or we were calling it heat. So you build this when you make your character. You're like, these are the things, these are the questions you ask yourself, and then you come up with the answers around the table between you and the other players. I have that. There's one. Let's look at Apocalypse World and see what some good ones are.
Okay, let me pull that up here.
Rabbit. Like Apocalypse World, like one of them put a hand in and when it mattered and helped you save a life. One of them has been beside you and has seen everything you've seen. One of them you figure is doomed to self-destruct. And then with Apocalypse World, you also have like a third one, or last one, where it's like on everyone else's turn, you can say, I don't, like in Angel, it's like, I don't get too attached. Whatever number that another player tells me, as far as like, we've got a history of 5, you would say, you might have a history of 5 with me, but I have a history of 4 with you.
Okay.
Like, because it just means you don't care as much about them as they care about you.
Right. I'm trying to find what in here.
Even the ones from Star Wars would be probably pretty applicable that we could
tweak. Yeah.
You guys want to fight?
Okay, here we go. Here's the history. Let's see here.
So one of the cool things in Apocalypse World is like one of the classes, it says Go around for history on your turn. You tell everyone -1 history for you because you keep everything a secret.
Oh yeah.
Which might be good for like luchador-esque playbook.
Yes. Yeah, who have you spent time on the road with, or yeah.
Who was your road wife? You kidnapped your daughter and marries her in Vegas. Oh, that is amazing. We could put in like because we could go the Magnum Tully. Who slept with your ex-wife?
I mean,
you know that Magnum married Tully's ex.
Yeah.
And then they lived like a house away from each other. Which is so weird, but also like Tully was such a bastard, but yet really likes Magnum and was cool with that.
I mean, I guess that speaks highly of Magnum.
Yeah. Too bad his stepdaughter does not speak highly of him as far as like everything she does is a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Which is sad. She's such a good wrestler and she's very charismatic, but
just can't stop being a shitty person though.
shitty human. Oh, keep thinking on the heat stuff. Although I am tempted to put something about the marrying stole your daughter to marry her. Who did you try to sacrifice on an altar to a higher power?
Yeah, I mean that's
because Kevin Sullivan would have done that type of shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's all over the place. Who who have you lost who'd you lose a loser leaves town match to, or there you go.
Oh man. See, I think with this we're gonna need to pick a question for each other player in the session.
Yeah.
Which again, if we have a bank.
Oh yeah.
Who's shit in your bag? Gotta remember though, Shaggy, we're looking for early 80s.
Well, I'm sure that happened.
No, I mean as far as who runs this shit, this is my yard.
Oh, okay.
Chopper. We're gonna have to figure. He gets a cool thing. I think he gets like a gang.
Oh,
Yep, he gets a gang. That's like that would be his finishing move. Is in Apocalypse World the gang. The Chopper has a gang.
okay. So, um,
So we would go to like playbooks. Like one would be like stable.
right. You could call it, yeah, like we are the horsemen, we are the best, or something like, reference to that. Um,
Oh, on. Okay, they do 2 harm.
oh shit, I do love that actually, Shaggy. Did they have the blue cage at Mania 3? I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they did either. I think it was Saturday night's main event. That
Let's see here. The history. That's a video. Okay, so the blue cage showed up in '86. So it was first used at WrestleMania 2 and kept being used periodically when they did cage matches. So it is out there. Part of me does like the idea of the blue cage just being at Ground Zero at the Superdome. And that's where the big blow offs have to happen. It's like
yeah, I'm trying to think how to work that in there.
a shittier Thunderdome. I mean, if the WWF heavyweight title is still out there, that could be, a claim.
We said the 10 pounds of gold is the real
Right, but you could have, there's the Infinity Gauntlet and the anti-life equation.
That's true.
Oh, Super Spike's back with his Nerf gun. I wasn't following the plot there. Yeah, that works.
So I'm gonna find some more, at least 2 more stable things.
So you're going off of the gang.
Yeah, for the stable being like one of the finishing moves. Monopoly chess.
Oh yeah, the Monopoly chest. Yes. I don't
No
know if
idea.
my Walmarts will have those or when I'm going to get to a Walmart. But,
I told you, Matt, that I got the Coldor thing, right?
yes, you did, which is
Okay,
amazing. Cool. So you're going off the followers.
Cool.
I guess.
I'm in the Apocalypse World gang for the chopper.
Oh, the chopper. Okay. Just keep on scrolling here. There we go. Actually, I'm going to look here. Um, so there's also a number of followers under Hocus. I don't know if any of those would
You see, I'll have to look more at it. I just saw some.
Because there's your followers are dedicated. Your followers are joyous and celebratory. They're rigorous and argumentative. They're hardworking, eager, enthusiastic, and successful recruiters.
Ooh, recruiting. That's a good one.
Yeah, so that's a plus growth, which I think is a more apocalypse specific.
So, well, with those, they're just like keywords.
Okay.
So it's like it's you're like growth could be like taken any different way. It's supposed to be nebulous, just like small.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, like all the ship stats from Star Wars. Okay. All the little Hulkamaniacs.
kind of forgot what I was
So
doing.
are you looking for these are just attributes plus or minus, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because also under Hocus there's followers. Your followers aren't really yours, more like you're theirs. Your followers rely entirely on you for their lives and needs. Your followers are drug fixated.
The flock.
Yeah. So the drug fixated one is surplus is a plus stupor. So if you've got too much stuff, they're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah.
But I could also see that being as the other way is if you don't have enough, they're gonna abandon you for somebody who does.
Yep. Oh, pick it.
Reach into your trunks and pull out that roll of athletic tape like WCW era Duggan. Yes, respect. He would pull a roll of tape out of his trunks and punch you in the face with it.
Yep. That was that WCW or was that when he was a bad guy back in
could have been both.
Bill Watts? I think he was a bad guy in Louisiana.
I know he did a bunch of WCW, but it could have been both. It wouldn't surprise me.
Like you watch him in they called them, I think they were called the Brat Pack or something like that. Like Super Young Duggan is a really, really good heel.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, the dude had it. Even if he found what worked and just stuck with it. And I'm gonna have to drop at 11:30 here, go run some errands. But I'm definitely down to come back again next weekend.
Excellent.
Keep hashing this out. I'll actually read through some of this stuff and see if I can be a little more productive.
I feel like we were real productive today.
Oh, I think we were too. It'd be, but if I could have my own stuff ready to, throw at you, we could.
Mitch, you are always helpful.
Yes.
I hope you know that. I hope Shaggy, Spike, you guys are amazing. I think we'll stop for there. I'll continue to fiddle with this maybe this way a little bit. But yeah, I'm digging it. We're getting stuff done. Maybe we'll even get old Beardley or possibly even Dave. Who knows? I know today I just put it in the Tiny Mean chat and he was like, "Oh man, I want to be there, but I'm at the store."
Yeah, I can't remember when Beard's out of town. I know that's coming up.
Next week he's in Virginia for that conference.
Just during the week then?
Yeah, I think he's back on the weekend. Beard, right. Beard's got the lady, so he's a busy boy.
And I'm glad he does. But
I'm very excited for him. He's so happy. He's so
he won't
happy.
have class soon, which will be.
I don't know if you saw this, Matt, or if you'd be interested. I'm trying to put together the idea to do either a summer or a whole year-long challenge series.
Okay.
So you're aware of the old DC challenge?
Yes.
So I picked up the Commandy challenge in hardback, and it's great.
Oh, I gotta do that. I picked up the first issue. Well,
borrow it if you want. I'm when I finish reading it. I got it super cheap, and it was still shrink wrapped, and it's really fun. I think I paid like maybe $7 for it.
Oh
wow. But I like the idea of doing that as an RPG series.
So
getting a group.
Each session is a different DM or whatever.
Yep.
And
players stay the same.
Okay.
So like either 4 or 12 DMs, however long it goes. I would like it to be a different DM each time.
Yep.
Nightbot, you're back. So if the chat's not familiar with the challenge series, it was a thing DC did a couple times where they get a creative team and then they say, hey, this is the concept. Like the one I'm reading right now is about Commandy. And the first creative team does issue 1 and they leave a cliffhanger. So then the second creative team has to pick up at the cliffhanger, and then they need to leave cliffhanger at the end of their issue for the next. And it just goes, I think the Commandy one might be 6 or 12 issues. I can't remember. The original challenge in the 80s or early 80s, late 70s was 12 issues, and it's wild. So I would like to do a RPG like that. I can't tell if I'd like to do D&D or maybe something really simple. I put out a thing that I found a lasers and feelings hack for Eberron, which Eberron is a cool pulp D&D setting. Like it's after the last Great War. So it's kind of a very Indiana Jones-ish. except for all the technology is like high magic. So there's like railways that are run by elementals. And the reason the war ended is because someone blew up an entire country with some type of magical nuke. So that might be good because there's only 2 stats in those games.
Yeah, I would say it's something like that where it's more about, because like could I get up to a point where I could run a D&D game? Probably. Could I do it quickly or well? No.
The other thing I've been thinking about is for our supervillain game. I did not know this until recently. There is a hack of masks called Capers where you're playing supervillains, and it's built on the concept of people wanting to play basically as the superior foes of Spider-Man. And I was like, that's kind of what we were doing anyway. So we might switch our characters over to that, since that's also an Apocalypse World hack game. Anyway, if any of those sound interesting to anybody, let us know. Like I said, I kind of want to do it because I think it would be really fun.
It would be
like a wild like challenge series. Maybe we'll even do a DC challenge. Maybe we'll just literally just run a once a month DC game of some type that way. So it stays.
I'm totally down.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out. Anyway, Matthew, it's almost 11:30. I appreciate your time.
No, I thank you as always for letting me be involved here.
No way. Thank you. Because it was great. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Tell Danny I said hi to those folks. Oh, Tomorrow Woman is pretty great. I have that action figure still. So was Aztec. I don't know why those characters didn't blow up.
I never caught on. And it was after Millar fucked Morrison. It kind of, I mean, he popped around and he's, showed up, and it was,
I don't want to talk about my feelings for Mark Millar because they're very similar to my feelings about Vince McMahon. All right, on that note, I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're off tomorrow, have a good day off. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you. I won't see you on Tuesday this week.
But the one after that, I don't know what day.
I don't know. And but I will see you on Thursday. I don't know what we're playing. Maybe we'll play Fermi Paradox. So until then, bye.